Good afternoon, everyone. Big weekend of racing last weekend in the world of motorsport. Four big races to cover. We got the Chinese Grand Prix for Formula One, the IndyCar Grand Prix of Arlington for IndyCar, and two big Vegas races for the O'Reilly Series and the Cup Series. Starting off in the Chinese Grand Prix, big first career win for Kimi Antonelli. The 19-year-old becomes the second youngest Formula One race winner of all time after Max Verstappen, and he shows this will not be a walkover championship for George Russell. Kimi very much took it by the horns to start the race. He took off into the distance and let Russell fight with the Ferraris for the first portion of the race. Um, Big comeback after a really poor sprint race for him. But no, Antonelli, he gets his first career win, first of many, I reckon, probably first of many this season. Um, and he gets that top step of the podium. Following him was George Russell, his teammate, and in third place, completing the podium, Lewis Hamilton, getting his first podium for Ferrari after over a year of trying. Fourth place, Charles Leclerc, the other Ferrari, and then after that, Oliver Bowman. Fifth place, the best of the rest. He's having an amazing year to start the year. Then it's Pierre Gasly in sixth for the Alpine. Alpine showing that they have the pace to potentially compete with Haas for best of the rest, which is a crazy sentence to say, honestly. But they had a double point scoring this week with Colapinto down there in 10th. Seventh place, Liam Lawson. Excellent comeback drive for him after a poor race last week where he got beaten by his teammate, the rookie Arvid Lindblad. Eighth place, Isaac Hadjar gets his first points for Red Bull Racing. He is the only Red Bull point scorer after engine issue for Verstappen took him out. And then ninth place there, Williams gets their first points on the back of Carlos Sainz. 10th place, the aforementioned Colapinto, he rounds out the double point scoring effort for Alpine. Let's just be a little weird there. Excellent. On to the point standings there, 51 points. George Russell is the points leader. By virtue of his sprint race victory, he holds a 4-point advantage over Kimi Antonelli. Charles Leclerc, 17 points back in third place. Lewis Hamilton's 18 back in fourth. They're going to be in a battle for supremacy for the rest of the season. They're still in the championship hunt, I think, depending on how the Ferrari performs at the rest of the tracks on the schedule. They are not so far behind them that I think it's impossible for them to catch up. But the rest of the field's pretty much fighting for fifth, it looks like. And fifth place is currently held by Ollie Bowman. Sixth place, Lando Norris. Terrible weekend for the McLarens, including Lando. Neither of them saw the start line. That's two in a row for Piastri. Piastri has some points on the board by virtue of the sprint race, but in terms of the full distance races, not a great start for McLaren. Pierre Gasly's in seventh. He's the double point scorer. He scored points in both races this season already. Great start for him. Eighth place, Max Verstappen. Pretty much a nightmare for him to start the season. He is not a big fan of these regulations, not a big fan of these cars. Probably not going to be a big fan of this season. He is tied with Liam Lawson. And behind Liam Lawson is his other other Red Bull Racing Bulls teammate there, Arvid Lindblad. As we mentioned earlier, that's two straight failures to start for Piastri. He is the big one that's off this board that you would expect to see in the top 10 and even at the top 6 of the Drivers' Championship. Not a good start. His poor luck really seemed to start midpoint of last year when he was the title favorite and championship leader. This continues to be biting at him ever since then. He ended up third in the championship, and now he is here having been unable to start races 2 weeks in a row. On to IndyCar. It's the IndyCar Grand Prix of Arlington, and this was won by Andretti Global's Kyle Kirkwood ahead of Alex Palou, Will Power, and Marcus Ericsson. Andretti 1-3-4 could have easily been an Andretti 1-2-3 had the pit stops gone in their favor. Marcus Ericsson lost the lead on a pit stop blunder. Will Power had the strategy calls working his way, and his pit stops almost took him out of it. And Kyle Kirkwood probably could have led most of the race if it wasn't for his pit stop blunders as well. Alex Palou controlled it mostly after that first cycle of pit stops when he got past Marcus Ericsson. And then it took until the last handful of laps for Kyle Kirkwood to make a very daring pass on Alex Palou to take victory. Alex Palou is in second. He affirms his place as the guy to beat on the road and street courses. And Kyle Kirkwood affirms his place as the guy who can beat him. Early part of last year, Kyle Kirkwood was really the only one who could hang with Alex Palou on the road and the street. And if it wasn't for him losing his consistency as the season went on, that was pretty much the only guy who looked like he had anything for Palou over the course of a full season points battle. This year, he is ahead of Palou, and he can fight this battle from in front. Third place there, Will Power, as we mentioned, finally getting the finish that he deserves. Probably should have finished right around there in Phoenix. Things did not go his way, but a strong third place run shows Will Power is far from done as a competitive driver in the IndyCar series. His first win for Andretti, I think, will be coming pretty quick. Fourth place, the pole sitter Marcus Ericsson. Great run for Marcus, led his portion of the race. Didn't seem like he could manage his tires quite as well as his teammate Kyle Kirkwood and Will Power. But, if things go a little bit differently, if he can hold on to the lead through that first cycle of pit stops, he might be managing the race a little bit better from there. Any of those three Andretti guys could have come out with a win, but I think the fastest guy did win this race. Marcus Ericsson really kind of still on the hot seat as Dennis Hoger is there in the wings for Andretti. But Marcus is doing everything he can to show that that seat is still very much deserving of him behind it. Fifth place, Pato O'Ward. Very strong run for Pato and Christian Lundgaard for the Arrow McLaren team. Never really showed race-winning pace, but Pato has done well to not have his non-race winning competition races go up in smoke. Usually Pato ends up throwing these races into finishing the teens, and he's been pretty strong on finishing these races in the top 5, top 10 so far this year. And ditto for Christian Lundgaard. They're going back and forth for who's the best ever McLaren driver this year, and I think that will benefit both of them having a competitive teammate to bounce off of. Sixth place is the top Penske, David Malukas. Really strong run for Malukas. You got to think he's going to be the next one on the list to get his first career win. Probably been the most competitive on the street and road circuits for Penske so far, which for someone who's always been viewed as more of an oval guy is quite impressive. Eighth place there, Scott Dixon. Poor qualifying effort. Dixon threw the strategy on and was able to drag his way through the field for a nice top 10. I'm starting to find concerning how much he lacks in race pace at this point, but his race craft is still unmatched. I don't know if we were done seeing Scott Dixon win races, but I think Father Time might be calling time on Scott Dixon as a multi-race winner in a season. Ninth, Alexander Rossi, really good run for ECR. They're not usually known for being terribly competitive at the street circuits. But Rossi was able to drag that car up into ninth, and he was running there most of the day. 10th place, Marcus Armstrong. This is the coolest thing is watching Armstrong and Rosenqvist battle back and forth. Armstrong definitely has the measure of his teammate, and Rosenqvist was definitely seen as the guy who was going to be the best of the rest after the Penskes and the Ganassis and the McLarens. He was that guy who could sneak into the top 10 in points behind those guys. And Armstrong has him beat so far, has him covered with a couple really strong performances. On to the standings here. It's Kyle Kirkwood leading by 26 points over Alex Palou. After that, Pato O'Ward and Joseph Newgarden are tied for third, 33 points back. Scott McLaughlin in the second Penske car, 41 points back. And then the other Penske car, David Malukas, just another further 1 point back, 42 points back. Christian Lundgaard's in 7th place, 46 points back, only 13 behind his teammate, well within striking distance. 8th place, Marcus Ericsson, 49 points back, really strong start to the year for Marcus. 9th place, the other Marcus, Armstrong, 56 points back. He is the leading Meyer Shank car. And 10th is Alexander Rossi, 62 points back. He has the measure of his teammate Christian Rasmussen so far. And here we can see the slow start teams. Move that chair out of the way. Felix Rosenquist, he's in 14th so far. He's 79 points back. Santino Ferrucci, 20th place, 88 points back. AJ Foyt Racing has not had the speed so far. Could that have anything to do with Penske not having quite the support they had last season? Starting to look like it. And 22nd is Christian Rasmussen, 93 points back. And that could very easily be swapped. Christian Rasmussen probably should have won last week at Phoenix and definitely should have had some better runs at the street circuits we've been to already, but not meant to be. He's 93 points back, 31 points behind his teammate Alexander Rossi. On to the O'Reilly Series in Las Vegas, and Justin Allgaier won the first two stages, and then Kyle Larson called game, dominated the rest of the race. Chase Briscoe looked like he might have had something for him at some point, but was not able to get the job done. The best of the series regulars is Sheldon Creed. He beat out Justin Allgaier and Sammy Smith. Jesse Love there in 6th. Connor Zilic was running well up to the start, wasn't able to get the job done. Very kind of disappointing effort for Connor Zilic. I think most people expected him to be battling with the Larsons and the Briscoes up there at the front. And after the first kind of stage and a half, he wasn't able to get it done. 8th place, Corey Day, continuing his run. I think he's had a top 10 in every race so far this year, so no complaints for Corey Day. 9th place, William Sawalich. Nice bounce back effort for him, but he's going to need to start winning some races and running up in the top 5 if he wants to be anything more than an also ran when the chase starts. 10th place, Austin Hill. Really kind of getting outshone by his teammate Jesse Love whenever we go somewhere that's not a restrictor plate or a road course. But Austin Hill doing what he needs to do to hold on to a strong position in the standings. And speaking of our standings, Justin Allgaier is our points leader, 13 points up on Jesse Love, and 29 points on his RCR teammate Austin Hill there. 4th place, it's Sheldon Creed in the first Haas Factory team car. In 5th place, it's Carson Koffel, who probably should have gotten his first career win last week at Phoenix. But he is holding on strong 5th, 64 points back. And the other JRM car of Sammy Smith is 73 points back in 6th. 7th place, it is Corey Day in the Hendrick machine at 83 points back. And 8th place, 100 points back, Roger Caruth. So we got Allgaier, Koffel, Smith, Day, Caruth, all in the top 8. What a great start to the year for JRM and JC cars. 9th place, Parker Retzlaff, 108 points back. I don't think anyone would have predicted that, because now we're back into the tracks that make up the majority of the schedule: Vegas, Phoenix, and the like. And Parker Retzlaff is holding on strong here. He hasn't had any bad finishes. He's been running very consistently. He's been having good finishes when he can get them, and when he hasn't been able to get them, he hasn't been throwing them away. So that puts him in front of Sam Mayer. Sam Mayer had a really good race going, and then it all fell apart on him. Brandon Jones doing Brandon Jones things. He's 11th. 12th place, Taylor Gray, 127 back. He is 6 points up on Jeb Burton for that final chase spot. And based off general team performance, you would expect Taylor Gray to be able to widen that gap on Jeb Burton. But on the outside there, 15th place, William Sawalich is only 15 points behind his teammate Taylor Gray for that final chase spot. Ryan Sieg, he is a perennial contender for the chase. He was only 29 points back, but they haven't quite looked the same this year compared to the last couple of years. He hasn't really shown that pace to be running in the top 5 like he has in the past. So we're going to need to see a lot of improvement from him if he's going to be able to race past the Joe Gibbs racing cars and the Haas factory team, and maybe even JRM to make this chase. On 25th place, Brent Cruz, he's 178 points back. He had to miss this week's race because he's not old enough yet. He's going to have quite the hill to climb if he wants to sneak his way into the chase this year. It might not be something he can do. He's going to have the car, and he definitely has the talent to do so. So it's just going to be a matter of, can he put it all together with limit mistakes and capitalize on the misfortune of others. And then onto the Cup Series, we have a new winner this year. It's Denny Hamlin, win number 61. He's the gift that keeps on giving. He seems to be ageless. Um, Pretty much the dominant car all day long. It felt like Chase Elliott looked like he might have had something for him, but he was never able to get to a point where he could attack Denny. William Byron was third, Christopher Bell fourth, Ty Gibbs fifth. There was a JGR Hendrick battle that was pretty lopsided in JGR's favor, it felt like. Sixth place was Chris Buescher, by far the leading Ford driver. As you can see, there's no Penske's to be seen. Logano and Blaney were stuck in the mid-teens. Very unusual effort for the Penske's, but the RFK boys were able to hold on and kind of carry the flag for the Fords. Kyle Larson in seventh, not really what you would expect from Kyle Larson after dominating the Vegas O'Reilly Series race. Really just did not have the car to compete with Joe Gibbs Racing or even his teammates Elliott and Byron. Eighth place was Chase Briscoe, who finally is able to make some upward gains to try and pull his way back into Chase contention. Ninth place, Bubba Wallace, another top 10 for Bubba. He keeps clipping them off, and he leads the series in stage points so far. So Bubba's doing what he needs to do to lock himself into a top Chase berth. All he's missing right now is a victory. And in 10th place, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher's teammate. Very strong run for Brad. And we're coming up on the point where Brad really starts to crank it up. He's really good as we enter into the summer months. He's been kind of hamstrung by really poor starts to the year the last few years. This will not be one of them. Standings, Tyler Reddick, by virtue of his 3 straight wins to start the year, maintains a 61-point lead on his teammate Bubba Wallace. Bubba moves up a couple spots as he takes over second from Ryan Blaney, who, as we mentioned, did not have the best of races this weekend at Vegas. Fourth place, Denny Hamlin, our race winner. He rockets up to fourth place in the points, 78 points back of Tyler Reddick. Fifth place is Chase Elliott. He was 87 points back. Christopher Bell, after a rough start, is now in sixth place, 91 back. Kyle Larson, very much in the weeds here with his teammate William Byron. They're seventh and eighth, both 98 points back. Ninth place, the number one RFK driver is Chris Buescher, 109 points back. 10th place, it's Ty Gibbs, who's had a really strong run to start this year. He's 10th place, 115 back. Joey Logano having an okay start to the year. He's 120 back. Brad Keselowski, he moves up, gives himself a little bit of breathing room. He's 128 back. 13th is the RFK third car of Ryan Preece. He's 130 back. Starting to pick it back up. He moves in after being out last week. 14th and 15th, it's the Spire cars of Michael McDowell and Carson Hocevar. Week to forget for them. They're 133 and 137 back. And the biggest faller, Shane Van Gisbergen, finished last place at Vegas. And he tumbles from the top 5 down to 16th on 138 points back. And he was tied on that cut line with Daniel Suarez and AJ Allmendinger. So ever that big gap that SVG had built up with his strong runs at COTA and Phoenix and Atlanta, gone, completely gone. So now he's back in a fight to claw his way back into a safe Chase berth. And he has a bunch of names on the outside looking to pass him, not including Suarez and Allmendinger. Ross Chastain, his teammate, he's 20th, 161 points back, 23 points behind SVG. Kyle Busch, 165 points back, 22nd in points. Kyle Busch's teammate, 24th, Austin Dillon, he's 174 back. 26th, this is the big name that's on the outside, that's Chase Briscoe, 179 points back in the JGR car. We know he has the speed. He's probably going to win some races, and he's going to be rocketing up to the side of the board. His bad luck hopefully has ended, so we'll see if he can start making some more upward progress. But that's the guy on this side of the board who I would expect to end up here at the expense of who? Hard to say. Austin Cindric in 30th. He's really had a terrible start to the year, as has Josh Berry. The speed just wasn't there, and he was our defending winner of this race last year and just didn't have anything to show for it. Connor Zilic continues his terrible, no good, very bad rookie year. And then Alex Bowman, I think we can officially call it quits on Bowman. He is going to be out for another 3 races. And the gap has now become, I think, insurmountable. Rough start to the year for Alex Bowman. Hopefully he can come back healthy. And I think the chase is out of reach, but hopefully he can come back and be competitive and maybe rattle off a win or two to show that this year was not a full loss comet. We'll be back hopefully either tonight or tomorrow to do the preview of the next week's races. See you then. Bye-bye.